Good afternoon. I am the Mainly Digger. It doesn't look like afternoon. It is dark, gloomy, and misty. And chilly, really chilly. But I'm at Popham Fort in Phippsburg, Maine. Phippsburg, it might as well be Bath. I'll just call it Bath. I know I'm gonna get flack from locals, but it's Bath. It's close to Bath. It's about 20 minutes away from Washington Street in Bath Ironworks, 20 to 30 minutes. But they call it Phippsburg. It's on an island or in a peninsula. This fort Popham Fort never saw active conflict. It's been in a couple conflicts just because it's there, and the War Department needed either a place to store stuff or just because it's a great place to put a fort, because it's at the mouth of the Kennebec River, which is protecting Maine, is the main riverway into Maine. And it's a gorgeous lookout point. It's a great viewing point. The Kennebec River is also, at that time, and still does, have multiple shipyards. They have multiple shipyards. I work at Bath Ironworks, so that is a connection for me. Every time a ship leaves from Bath and goes on sea trials, you see it from Popham. There's lots of videos, lots of footage on the internet. I'm not gonna take someone else's photo and put it up there, but it's just a cool site. It's a cool connection for me. This has guarded the mouth of the Kennebec for over 100 years. If you watch my past videos about the Embargo Act and the embargo forts in Maine, this was an embargo fort. The Embargo Act was around 1810, and it led into the Napoleonic War, or it's because of the Napoleonic War, and it led into the War of 1812. Thomas Jefferson put the act in effect because of the Napoleonic Wars. A very cool piece of property, state park. Can't metal detect on it. Mainly dig out. I'll show you around a little bit. As you can see, there is not a lot to this fort. It was here for protection. It wasn't, it wasn't really anything big. I think it had a barracks. I think it housed soldiers. I know in World War I, they had mines, and I'll show you where they placed the mines at the mouth of the river, because they wanted to protect the Kennebec and protect Maine from infiltration or whatever. But I don't know, it's cool. I just remember when I was younger, over 20 years now, just coming in here and playing. And I mean, they wanted to protect the rocks and stuff. So it's open sometimes, it's not open now. It's after seasons is what I'm getting at. But there's been a huge effort to preserve this part of Maine's history. And it's I don't know, it's fun. It's an interesting place. And I honestly, I'd have to look into the back history before the Embargo Act and what fort was here on this property before the Embargo Act. But this is Popham Fort. I mean, the fort is right there to my right. This is classic coastal Maine. Like, this is where I would come as a kid and go to the beach. Like, it was our annual trip. We would go to 2 beaches a year, and this Popham was always one of them. It's an interesting place. We'd always go to the fort. There's I'll show you the beach on the other side that we would always play at. But it's just an amazing property. Like, being from Maine, like, you don't forget about how gorgeous it is, but you kind of take it for granted that it's so close. When I was younger, it was a 2-hour drive. Where I'm now, it's an hour drive, a little over an hour drive to get here. And I haven't been here for years. This is the first time I've been here in years. And it's changed so much. It's just a gorgeous spot. Maine is gorgeous. That's the end of my rant. So the fort's right there. The bay is on the other side of the beach, and then the bay. This is another encampment, embankment, whatever you want to call it. And the town is right there. As we're gonna go in this here because I like to explore. I haven't been in here for a while, over 20 years, like I said. But we used to run through here all the time. See all the just the old stuff, just old metal. And of course, you have your graffiti. It's awesome. Yeah, I just stopped the camera and turned on the light. Probably has urine in here. Oh man. They probably just stored ammo in here. I forgot exactly what they did, but I think it was a tunnel too, but they boarded it up for safety, obviously. But yeah, it's an interesting place. No, I mean, it's creepy, but it's not that creepy. Some graffiti. So you have this beach, also Camp Metal Detect on this beach right here, where I'll show you later. I might make it a second part of the video, or another part to the video. It's further down, and you go around. This is a bay right here. This is where they put the mines, or where they mined heavily, and they, like, throughout the years, they still have found mines for shipping and stuff. And this is where everybody swims, so like the mines would be in that area and further out. But that's just whatever. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous spot. It's just the other side of the fort. Not a huge fort, not a big fort, but it's a huge part of Maine. Like it's I don't know. It's where people come to view and visit. It's why they come to this spot. Like otherwise, Phippsburg wouldn't be anything. Phippsburg, as you can see, and I'll show you, is just a small little coastal town. It's just amazing. Here's some more information. It kind of goes against what I've read online. So I'm gonna say 1800s. It doesn't matter. It was built in the 1800s. I know there was a fort here prior to the Embargo Act. So good times. And it's, you know, it's just saying be cautious. It's a historic site. Awesome. I love this place. Mainly dig out. So Phippsburg is just bigger than this little peninsula right here, but I mean, this is coastal Maine. You have the small church in the background. It's probably about 100 years old. A couple of 100-year-old houses or more, you know, 50 to 100 years old houses. And then you have newer builds, and then you have fishermen right there. You got a boat out on the bay. Fort is right there, but it's Maine. Like, this is Maine. When I think of Maine and the coast and coastal cities, this is what I think of. Mainly dig out.